Hello everybody, my name's Kanai Mainika, and I've got a new set briefly. So it's the same place, don't worry. But this video is going to be released a lot sooner than a lot of my other unboxings, just because this is a more recent offering and I want to try to have it out more quickly. We'll see how it goes, but we have a new set. Slightly. I switched the boxes out. I did some rethinking of what boxes I wanted to keep, what boxes I didn't, and here we are now, with a bunch of SH Figuarts boxes back there. But it doesn't really matter too much. Just keep that in mind, especially when we go back to next unboxing, which will be in a couple days, and it goes back to the old style. But whatever. I'm sorry about breaking continuity on you. That's just my style. Anyways, we're here to talk about a release that's been somewhat talked about because it's been out in Japan for a little bit, but I'm glad to have my hands on, especially right now. Also, I'm going to break continuity a little bit by saying that I'm complete with One Piece. I've read all of One Piece, and I really like it. We're in Egghead right now, and it's really exciting. But in reading One Piece, compared to where we were last time, or at least when I pre-ordered this figure, I have grown a strong appreciation for the character that we will be unboxing today. So, everybody, let's hang out while I take a look at the newest SH Figuarts One Piece release, the SH Figuarts Trafalgar Law. This is his Wano Country look. I mean, they've all been their Raid on Onigashima looks, but I feel like that's important to note here. That's why he's got, like, the coat on his shoulders and the specific, like, yellow shirt. He's had a couple of looks. He had his initial look, which kind of looked a bit derpy, and then he had his coated look in, like, Dressrosa and Punk Hazard, and now we got this. But yeah, I really like Law. He's a great character, a wonderful character. Yeah, I just really enjoy him and his backstory. But anyways, let's look at the box. At the front here, we got the standard One Piece style packaging. We got the Trafalgar Law there and there, stating his name, the usual One Piece logo, the usual SH Figuarts branding logos. It's an open window, so you can see Law, all of his stuff, and all this fucking plastic preventing him from getting, like, paint damaged or whatever the fuck. And a nice promotional image of Law. And all of the packaging is a nice kind of, like, cheesy, like, orangish yellow. Kind of similar to the Commodore Gion box. I did an unboxing of that. You can probably go watch it, but I'm not going to have a card because I'm too lazy to do that. Anyways, yeah, this is standard SH Figuarts One Piece packaging, just law-ized. And you can see even more of that at the top, where it's got the straw hat design within the map, where it has the SH Figuarts quote, where it's like a standard figure series that uses art style and technology to imagination, so on and so forth. The bottom has an image of Law doing one of his room poses with the Trafalgar Law name. It's the same as this one on the front. Law's doing a different pose here with his sword on this side, where it says Trafalgar Law. It's got a dot after his name, which is a bit weird. I mean, they're shortening it for the sake of spoilers, which I really appreciate. I'm going to be calling him Trafalgar Law the whole time as well. I'm not going to spoil what his whole name is. Just know that that is a spoiler. I love One Piece. Anyways, moving on to this side, we got the continuation of the image on the front, as well as a bunch of promotional images showing Law doing a bunch of different poses with a bunch of different faces, as well as the extra Luffy face, which this set does include, as is to be expected. And then on the back, until this is the American release, I'm sorry, I get the American releases because they're slightly cheaper. Anyways, we get some more of those promotional images in more full shots. The main shot at the front to show him doing all cool poses and whatnot, and all the different faces that we saw, as well as the special Luffy face, because they all come with a special Luffy face. However, that's not all this figure is, just a box. Let's get him open, shall we? Yeah. Slide that in. Slice. Butter knives work really well for this, by the way. If you're going to open up an action figure like this, butter knife might be a good way to go. On the inside, we do have instructions for how he works, because that's how SH Figuarts do most of the time these days, unless it's a really complex figure. Alright, getting him out, and he does look really good, in my opinion. We'll be doing this somewhat out of order because his swords are behind him, so we'll have to take that into account when we're doing the unboxing. I will try to do it in the usual order where it's all accessories first and then finish it off with the figure itself. But, you know how these things sort of go. Let's shift the lighting a bit so I can focus directly on the figure. And then move it down. Anyways, this figure does come with a lot of hands. So we got like a... What's this one? We got a thumbs up of sorts, a thumb pose, and they're all wonderfully painted. They've got his hand tattoos that say death, and the little hand tattoo back there, if it'll focus, but you can see it says, Jesus Christ. It says death, like Law does. There's a thumbs up pose of sorts, I think. And he's got, this looks to be one of his sword holding hands of sorts, because he's got a sword. Once again, they all have the same level of nice paints and sculpts. This one's a holding hand for like the swords, I imagine. Here's his other holding hand. Once again, very nicely painted. No real paint scuff. Here we have an open hand for like gliding across the blade of the sword, like that's a bit weird, but sure. Once again, nice painting and sculpting. Yeah, both sides say death, which is fun. Fun, haha. Law's a funny guy. Yeah. But yeah, I do like Trafalgar Law. He's a fun character. He's a great character, especially in Dressrosa. Get to Dressrosa for him, and he's great. Here we have one of his nice finger pointing poses. Like, you could use it as a normal finger point. Like that. This is meant for him going, room. Him going just, room. Chambres. Yeah, he's a great character. We love Law. Here's his other thumbs up hand. I imagine this is probably also for room, chambres sort of things. Oh, here's two fingers. Hell yeah. Now this is room. Now this is going all room chambres. Hell yeah. It's got that nice, distinct kind of way he holds his fingers for it. It's great. His powers are really fun and weird and awesome. His powers are really fun and weird and awesome. And I imagine these next two hands are for gripping, I imagine the sword in its sheath. Oh, there goes the box. Yeah. Yeah, you can see a little indentation in the hand where it's all flat. That's for gripping the sword in its sheathed form, because you can do that. And we also have a standard open palm hand, because you gotta have that. Always nice and expressive to have extra expressive hands. And two more hands up here, which are the alternate sides of those hands. So you can do it with either hand. Yeah. They don't just have expressive faces. They have expressive heads. Expressive hands, they also have expressive faces. But first, Luffy. This face looks a bit weird on first contact, but I assure you it's fine. This is replicating a moment in the raid on Onigashima with Luffy, Law, and Kid, who comes out in August? Don't worry, I pre-ordered him. We'll unbox him when he comes out. Stay tuned for that. But, like, it's meant to be kind of like this, and it's very well sculpted, very well designed. It's a very goofy, but it's very much this specific moment in One Piece. But yeah, as I said, this set also comes with Law's equivalent face. His face is all stretched out, very cartoony, very goofy, very One Piece, and I love it. Don't want to chip that too much. But yeah, more faces, more fucking faces. Let's jam. Come on, Law. He's kind of got a neutral face on him at the front. But here we have a more like angry battle posed face. They're all very well done. They've got his earrings individually painted. They've got his facial hair really well done, and he's just kind of grimacing really all nice like. Yeah. These One Piece faces are great. I unboxed, we'll get there around June, I want to say, June, July-ish, but I've unboxed some Chainsaw Man figures, and I don't like their face prints as much. But these One Piece ones have been really good so far. But yeah, another action battle-y face, this one more shouting. Once again, it perfectly replicates Law. This looks just like him. It looks amazing. It's got little extra details. to make it look like the artwork from the show and the manga. Finally, one of my favorite faces for Law. There we go. He's got this fucking wonderful shit-eating grin. Yeah, this is Law, yeah. He's going on room. I mean, he's either serious or he's got this little shit-eating grin when he wants to let out a little bit of extra expressiveness. It's great. Got all the same wonderful painting and sculpting. One final accessory before we have to move the figure out of the way real quick. He does come with a unhatted piece. For the head, I think you just probably swap out the head entirely. Maybe. I'd have to check how exactly this works. I'm not going to use it much because I do prefer him with his hat. It's a lot more iconic, but he does lose his hat at times, so this is always nice to have. It really adds your options and variability, especially for such an expensive figure. But yeah, let's move Law out of the way. We won't remove him from all of his plastic yet, because we gotta look at his swords, because he has his sword. He only has the one. Alright. He only really has the one sword, but it's either unsheathed or sheathed. This is a lot longer than Zoro's, who we'll get to, again, around the summer, in terms of unboxings. I think the sheath on the sheathed one is removable, so it's only one part. Yeah, okay. So the sheath is removable on the sheathed version. And he's got just a nice long sword for him to do his little poses with. It's like, he cuts people up. He's a doctor. That's the gist of it. His powers are surgery-based or whatever the fuck. But this is a very nicely done sword. They've always done a really good job with the swords. Nice shine on the edge there. And then the hilt is also very wonderfully detailed. It's got the nice purple, a little bit of wrapping there, and it's got a nice, like, fluffy hilt. It's very well done. And the same hilt is on here, very similarly detailed, but then the sheath is also very nicely done. It's very cleanly painted, very high quality. Really like how it looks. Let's get to Law, shall we? So he's wrapped in like a cover. And then he has this little plastic insert as well. But here he is, Law. Ankles are a bit loose. I've heard this cape has a bit of a balance issue, which I understand. All right, so they aren't. Are they posable? They're a little posable. They have joints up here. A lot of people have just cut this off, and I can see why. I really want to see someone like SHF Upgrade or something make like a cloth cape. All right. Okay, so shoulders are a lot more traditional than Zoro and Sanji's. Zoro and Sanji use something similar to the Chainsaw Man shoulders. I'm pointing up to my boxes. Chainsaw Man's up there. This is a very heavy cape. I wish they used a softer material for this cape. But yeah, he's moving great, though. He is moving wonderfully, though. Usual SHF hips. Usual SHF knees. Ankles could leave a bit to be desired, but they aren't the worst. Yeah, his legs have a very nice cartoony, like, leopardy print. They look nice. This might be a figure you want to get a stand for. But yeah, the coat is very nice and, like, majestic, but, like, also it seems like it'll be a pain. I'm not going to remove it. A lot of people have removed it. I'm not going to do it. I don't like modifying my figures that much unless I have, like, a replacement cape for him. But yeah. But he does have a butterfly, which allows him to really bend forward. His torso has, like, a rubbery overlay for the jacket, but it gets out of the way very nicely. It's able to pose very well. They've come a long way since Zoro's issues. We'll get there. If you saw my top 15, you know he was really disappointing as a figure. He's got all that nice articulation. Let's look at his face. Nice and unpleased, and he's got his hat. I love how they designed his hat. His hat is wonderful. His goofy little hat. But yeah, it's very wonderfully done. It's got a nice rough texture. You can see a little bit of his hair poking out the back. But yeah, the yellow is very nicely chosen. It looks perfect for Law. He's got all the standard articulation. You can see, let's look at his chest tattoos as well. Come on, there we go. You can see his chest tattoos are very nice and cleanly done. They look amazing. He has a lot of flat cuts, which aren't the nicest looking, but they work well enough. Yeah. Let's look at his back, I guess. Yeah, he's got some standing issues from what I can tell. Yeah, he's very much slightly unbalanced. You probably want to get a stand for this guy. Bandai does release stands, so they're going to get you for a 2-for-1, but he can stand depending on the pose. I imagine probably putting him in a wider stance might help. A power pose might help a little bit. Maybe that'll just make it worse. Okay, yeah, he's standing. He can stand. It's just you got to put the work in, and there are going to be certain poses he just can't do without a stand, which, yeah. Bandai stands are good. They're going to sell a bunch of stands like this, but yeah. I think that's the video, basically. This Law seems like a really good figure. I'll get a bit more experience in, but if you want a review of this figure, let me know via engagement, primarily comments. That really helps. Let me know if you want a review of Law or any of the One Piece figures. I've been collecting a bunch of them. The only one I don't have is Kaido, because that thing is very expensive. Whew, for one figure. Anyways, yeah, let me know if you want to see this guy reviewed. That's really the point of these unboxings, to give a basic introduction to the figure before giving it an all-out review, or an option for an all-out review. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope you enjoy One Piece. You should go read One Piece if you haven't. It's very good. It's very long, but it's very good. It's worth it. Anyways, I'm done. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.